Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So very briefly this morning, what I want to share with us is a story in the life of the Prophet, and it's basically based on the idea of tying one's camel. So there is this understanding that having trust in Allah basically means not taking precautions at all, just putting whatever one wants to do, one should just go forth at it without taking any precautions, without doing anything beforehand, you see. And so this story dispels that and says we should actually take as much precautions as possible. And after we've taken the precautions that we are able to take in the circumstances, then we have trust in Allah. But not taking any precautions at all, this is not in the Sunnah of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And so we go into perhaps a story that I think almost all of us know about, but perhaps there's this detail that is always missed in the narrative, and that's the story of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, when they were fleeing Mecca to Medina. So the story, this is an example of the map of Mecca to Medina. So let's say, Medina is north, right? Let's say this is Medina. Medina is north. Let's say this is Medina. And Mecca is south. Let's say this is Mecca, south, right? So our understanding is that the Prophet and his companion fled from Mecca to Medina, right? But where do you think, and they went to the Jabal Thawr, the cave of Thawr. So where they eat for a while before they continued on their journey. So the first thing is, I think before we even go into the detail of where Jabal Thawr is the fact that, number one, they had a shepherd who led them to Jabal Thawr, who led them to the spot. And as the shepherd, if the shepherd led them for, first of all, let me even say this, it's like a 3-hour walk from Mecca to Jabal Thawr. It's a at least 3-hour walk. So it's not like an easy stretch. And so what the shepherd would do after having led them for like a while is he would get his sheep to walk on their tracks so as to cover the tracks. So from there, first of all, we see that idea of taking precautions. They weren't just like, oh, leave our footprints, Allah will protect us. Of course, Allah will protect them, but Allah needs them to do their own bit first. And so we'll continue with the story. So let's say this is Mecca and this is Medina. So where do you think the cave where, as we know, where the spiders and the dove basically covered the entrance to the cave, so that the people that were there didn't know that there had been people here. Like the spider put its web and the pigeon laid its eggs, and so they thought, there can't be anybody in this cave, you see. But so where do we think this Jabal Thawr is? If this is Medina and this is Mecca, do you think it's here, 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 here? Like, where do you think it's in between all of these places? So this is the little detail I'm talking about, in that Jabal Thawr, if this is Mecca and this is Medina, they were fleeing to Medina. Jabal Thawr was somewhere here. Jabal Thawr was south of Mecca. It wasn't even north. So the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and Abu Bakr, they went south so as to take precautions against the Meccans, because now they know the Meccans are looking for them, and the Meccans will most likely try to cover the stretch as much as they can to see if they will meet them on the way. And so instead of going straight and doing what the Meccans would think that they would be doing, they went south. They went south to hide for a while. And then when everything settles, then take another route to get to Medina. You see? And so we see it as a pattern in the life of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that he will always take precautions. This is one of many. Even in Battle of Uhud, like they could have the path that they passed to get to the battlefront was not the normal path. They basically passed a back road to get to the station of Uhud, and they went through farms and everything. So that the Meccans would not see them, would not see how many they are, wouldn't see how much cavalry they had, how much manpower and all of that. And so they passed. They could have just gone and let the Meccans see them and see everything that they had and trust in Allah. Of course, Allah will come through for whoever puts their trust in Allah, but Allah expects us to first tie the camel, you see. So we tie the camel, we don't just leave. So the tie the camel is an expression, right? So it is said of the guy that said, should he tie his camel before praying? Or should he just leave his camel outside the mosque and go and pray and have trust that his camel will be fine and stuff? And the Prophet ﷺ told him to tie his camel, you see. So we have to we should do everything in our power to make sure that the negative outcome of what we're about to do does not happen. And then put our trust in Allah, you see. And no matter how much, if we do everything we can and we think that our power can get things done, oh Lord, there are times where you do everything. There are times that people that don't believe in God and the likes, they do everything, and a storm happens on that day. Say they are planning an event or something, and then they do everything they can to make it perfect. Oh, they don't believe in God and what have you. And that day there's a storm and everything is destroyed. So you need the belief in the trust in Allah to make anything successful. It is not you that's making it happen. It is Allah at the end of the day that's making it happen. You can have everything planned, no storm, and then you get sick. For some reason, you just get the flu. And then you sit down at home and you are not able to make the event. And so this is the idea of tawakkul. This is the idea of trusting in Allah. First of all, do all you can to make it a success, and then have trust in Allah. Have tawakkul in Allah, and Allah will make a way for us. May Allah always make a way for us. It's so interesting that the Prophet, peace be upon him, our role model, are everything. Like the one that Allah Himself told us to follow. You see, like Atiullah wa Atiur Rasul, and we believe La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. You see, this person did not just walk from Makkah straight down, believing that Allah will protect him, strike them with thunder or something. He and his companion went to a cave, and they did not just stand on the cave, they hid in the cave. You see, they hid in the cave, and they did not just hide in the cave. There was a miracle even had to happen, you see, and that's where Allah is coming through for them, in that suddenly spider got there and put its web on the mouth of the cave, so that the pigeons laid the eggs, so that when they came and they saw that, they were like, these guys are in here, and they had to go look for them elsewhere, you see. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa sallam taslim. So these are one of the instances of the Prophet himself taking precautions despite everything. I think I should mention this very slight story just before my time is up, in that when they were in the cave, Abu Bakr, the Prophet ﷺ was lying on Abu Bakr's leg, resting, and so Abu Bakr used his foot to cover a hole that a snake was in, and then the snake bit him, you see. And the Prophet woke up after the Abu Bakr didn't scream or anything, but after like tears from his face fell on the Prophet woke up, and then he saw what had happened, and he put his spittle on his foot to heal his leg, to heal his foot, and it was fine. Why I'm saying that is that yes, the Prophet had all of these miracles he could have done on the path if he had just gone straight down, but he didn't, so as to teach us, we that will come in after, to always take precautions. May Allah make it easy for us to have trust in Allah, and to always may Allah always ease our affairs. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa sallim taslim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.